Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhi Dhyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaika Natham. We are worshipping a great God, Vishnu. Why? To get Bhava Bhaya Haram. So He will bless us, He will guide us, so that we will be free from the fear. What is the fear? Fear of death. The only death? No, there are many people very courageous, don't bother about fear about death, but this is the circle of death, birth and death. It goes on and on. So that He is going to guide us. How? Very excellent. Today we will read the Bhagavatam, which is considered as a book of devotion, will teach us pure Vedanta. Today we will study that Bhagavatam. Here, this is again the third skanda, the third book, 29th chapter, and we'll be reading from some of the verses. But in the third book, we have already listened the wonderful spiritual conversation between the Mother Devahuti, and the Mother Devahuti was the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, and she was the wife of Kardama Muni, and her son, the Kapila. So why this tradition we should remember, but it's coming down. This Kapila was none other than Vishnu himself. But he promised that he will become the son of the Kardama and the Devahuti. So this Kapila, in the 9th chapter we find that Devahuti wanted to know about the devotion. So she got that knowledge about the Purusha and Prakriti. Now she was interested to know about the devotion. What is this devotion? And there we find the son, the Kapila, he is telling that what is devotion? When by mere hearing about me, the Supreme God, the mind of an individual streams forth unmotivated nirbhasana, unrestricted nirantara, and one-pointed ekagra towards me, who is present in all being, that is love and that is bhakti. Now we should read this passage once again, but this is very, very important. He is telling what is this, what is that devotion? She was asking about the devotion. And what is the definition of the devotion the Kapila is giving? The moment you hear about the God, the name of God, repetition of God, the three things started happening immediately. The mind become very one-pointed, strong flow of mind it goes. They give the example as the Ganga is forcefully flowing to meet the ocean. Similarly, the mind also, Ganga is a long river, very big river, like the Mississippi over here. It goes on all over the India. But the ultimate goal is to reach the ocean. Like that, the human mind, the moment they listen about God, hear about God, read about God, think about God, immediately rushes up forcefully, but without any desire, nirvasana, without any desire. Second, continuously unrestricted and one-pointed. It won't go anywhere. So that love, that devotion, that process of mind trying to reach God is known as bhakti, is known as devotion. So when you talk about the devotion, we always think, oh, devotion means a lot of emotion. Of course, emotion is there, but at the back of it, there's knowledge. What is that knowledge? Me, who is present in all beings. So friends, this is the point we should try to remember. The devotion, mostly, then afterwards we will read how the Kapila again and again, that he is hammering the mind that out of just emotion we are thinking, oh, this is the worship all over, particularly the Hindus, all over the India. We should read this passage. The third Skanda 29 chapter, start from the back of it, the 20-21 verses, then we'll understand what is the devotion. It should be one-pointed, strong flow to mix me, to come to me, but at the same time knowing that I am present in all being. That devotion, but it differs. Why? According to the different type of qualities that is present in the human being. One is a tamasic bhakti. Now it goes in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also, he mentioned the different type of bhakti. Here, tamasika bhakti, worship with cruel purposes. In our country, the dacoits, they used to worship goddess Kali. That's why so much bad names of the Kali. They felt the Kali, they saw the image of Kali. Krishnananda Agam Vagish is a great saint. He imagined that, he saw that in dream, and he imagined that an unique, the image which explained the whole thing, the Vedanta and the Samkhya, through that Tantrika, the process. But these poor fellows, they don't know. They saw the lady is cutting the head of the enemies and then putting the garland of the skull. So they thought, there's a fearful, the goddess must be our god, must be our goddess. Why? Because we are the dacoits. The people are afraid of us. So they started worshipping the goddess Kali, and it has nothing to do with them. That is also bhakti, the devotion, the faith, the belief, but with cruel purposes. Sometimes some people, they will worship goddess Kali, the purpose to take the vengeance on others, and also the jealousy and other low tendencies. That is called tamasika bhakti. What is rajasika bhakti? The worshipping image with an intention to fulfill worldly enjoyments, wealth, fame. Majority of the temples, the rich people, they are constructing and worshipping. This is the idea. So that is called rajashika. They are not tamasika, but they are rajashika. So all people will say, oh, he has constructed a temple and these they are doing, etc., etc. And not only that, in the future generation they should not forget. So they will put a tablet over there inscribing that so and so in such and such year gave so much of money to construct a temple, etc., etc. This is all Rajashika Bhakti. This is also devotion. And what is Sattvika Bhakti? Worship in images. All the three are worshipping in images. And Sattvika is also worshipping in images, but only for liberation. So worship for liberation from the bondage of the karma. This type of bhakti we saw completely demonstrated in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna worshipped goddess Kali. And very close to, very near to Calcutta, the then capital of India, undivided India. And in Calcutta, that educated people, the so-called high society people, they were going on criticizing the goddess Kali. Of course, the Hindu religion were criticized, but Kali was highly criticized. Why? Misunderstanding. So the God himself came in the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and very close to the Calcutta so that people can go over there and making the whole thing in nice way, subtle way. Then he started worshipping goddess Kali. The temple was constructed by a low caste lady and the images also was there. Others of Brahmins, they refused to worship. Sri Ramakrishna accepted. Of course, his brother and then he. And by the side of the Ganga, the traditional Hindus, they always believe that you must have a place near Ganga. He was there. All traditional way he was practicing. And then for what? Mukti, mukti, mukti. Give me liberation. That was the Sattika Puja. Same goddess Kali, worshipped by the dacoits. Goddess Kali, worshipped by the rich but arrogant people. And the same goddess Kali, worshipped by a devotee like Sri Ramakrishna, who only loved. So there are some Swastika Bhaktas who do not accept even 5 forms of moksha. The Kapila is mentioning, because in the devotional path there are swargas are there, mokshas are there. What are the mokshas? Salakya, living in the sphere of God, living in the area of God. That is the only idea. That mostly they say, this is a heaven. All good people will be there, God will be there. So that is the place we should go. Mostly the devotees, they think in that way, but the Sattika devotee, they don't care about it. And Srasti, having God's power, Samipya, living close association with God, living very close to God, Samipya. Like the Narada, he is living very close contact with the God constantly. Sarupya, having a form similar to God, and Sayujya, being one with God. They go and mix in the presence of God. These are the 5 goals of the devoted people, devotees. Of the Vaishnavas particularly, these are the 5 great goals. But this Sattika devotee, they don't bother about these 5. They say, no, we don't want all those. We don't like to be merging in the God. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, I don't like to be sugar. I like to taste sugar. So I like to enjoy the company of God and His Leela. So that Sattika Bhakti, what they want, the only thing they want is the opportunity to serve God and nothing else. Service to God, serving God, that is the only opportunity that they want and nothing else. They have realized God. They can merge with God. They can go beyond the circle of birth and death. It is all in their command, but they don't want that. They like to be in the service of God. So that is the ultimate. There's a beautiful story in Ramayana. So in Ramayana, Ramachandra is going to cross the river. Ramayana, we know that some people arranged in such a way, they plotted in such a way that Rama had to leave the Ayodhya. So he walked, and then the last night he was spending on the bank of the Sarayu. And the next morning he was supposed to cross. Rama had a friend over there who was the leader of the boatmen and all others. Then everything was planned, and there are so many boatmen. They all were eager to take the Rama to the other shore. But one person came to the king and told, "Once I helped you and saved your life. Do you remember that?" "Oh, sure. And you promised that you will give me a boon. Whatever thing that I will ask, you will give." "Yeah, that also I remember," the king said. "And now is the time I like to pray that you should give that boon to me." The chaot, as another boatman, he told the king. And then he said, "Okay, what is that? Remove all the boats and the boatmen from the village. Only my boat should be there. So that in the tomorrow morning when the Sri Ramachandra comes with Sita and Lakshmana, it was my boat, it should be my boat, so that he can come on that. That is my prayer." So, okay. So arranged in that way, all boatmen, they went away, boats were not there. Next morning when Ramachandra came, he saw the only one boat, and his friend king, he was also there. He told, "It's okay, no problem, he's a very good the boatman, he can take you the other shore." So they climbed on that. The moment Ramachandra was coming to climb on the boat, he said, No, you cannot touch my boat with your feet. I know that story. The moment you are touching my boat, it will become gold, and I will lose my job. I don't like to lose the job. So I will take you on my lap and then carry you to the boat. And there is a special type of the plate that he has kept. You have to keep your feet on that. Lakshmana became very angry. Why this man? But anyway, there was no other boat. So the Lakshmana told, okay. So he took the Ramachandra with great devotion, and in tearful eyes, he took the Ramachandra on his lap and then carried him to the boat. And the Ramachandra was sitting, not touching the boat, because there was a plate. Why? Because the touch of your feet, immediately the whole thing will gold. I have heard it in different places. Ramachandra, Lakshmana, Sita, they sat, he started rowing the boat. The river is not very wide, so he could reach within a short time. But instead he was going on roaming here and there. Then after some time, they were enjoying, but after some time, the Lakshmana told, "Hey, what you are doing? We have to cross the river." Then he said, I know, he will cross the river. But this person who is sitting in my boat, he takes millions and millions of births to cross the ocean of samsara. He is also a boatman, this Ramachandra. And with his blessings, only the human being, they can cross the samsara. So, when he takes so much of time to take us to liberation on the other side, so why I should not take little time? So, I have to. Then he was doing like that. Then Sita and Lakshmana, slowly they became angry. Then ultimately they reached the other shore. And once again he carried the Ramachandra to the other shore and washed his feet and put his sandal and all that thing. Then Ramachandra looked at the Lakshmana. Lakshmana took out a golden coin, wanted to give it. Then he said, no, the same profession, I am not going to take that. He is also a boatman, I am also a boatman, the same profession people, they don't take from each other. Lakshmana, it was too much for him. He drew the sword. You rogue, you think, do you know who is he? The prince of Ayodhya, and it's the same profession. Then Ramachandra told, wait, you don't know. In the past life, as a Vishnu form, when I was sleeping on the Sheshanaga, he came as a tortoise, wanted to touch my feet, but the Sita never allowed. The Sita was taking care of my feet, so she didn't allow. So this fellow was going on trying, then ultimately with a great wish that he will worship me. One day he died and many, many births passed. And in this birth, he has taken this life only to serve me. You do not know. So don't be angry like that. So this is the devotee. He could take the liberation, but he is not ready to take, only to serve the God. That love, ordinary people won't understand, because majority of us are so selfish. We like to somehow or other, we like to wash our hand and go away. But there are great devotees who never minds to take this type of birth again and again to serve the God. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, I will come down again and again and take the human birth as long as there will be a dog, hungry dog on the street. I like to remove all the pangs and the miseries from the hearts of every being. So the way he said, that is the devotion. By this power of devotion, Jiva overcomes the three gunas of the Prakriti. This tremendous love for God that gives him the power to control the Prakritis, Sattva, Raja, Tama, they control that. How one can develop such devotion? Now the Kapila is going on giving some of the information. First information, Nishebita nimittena swadharmena mahiyasa. This is the 15th verse of the 29th chapter. He said, Nishebita nimittena swadharmena mahiyasa. Perform your duty with detachment. That's all. Very fast thing. Perform your duty with detachment. See, we think in so many ways. Religion means so many things. And some people, they are so intellectuals. They say, no, I am not ready to practice. I don't like to practice the religion because I want the philosophy or the spirituality. They don't know what is religion. The religion is practicing your own sadharma and without any hankering. So with detachment. Second, he says, installing my image in a holy place, one should worship it and must feel my presence in all beings. The two things. Have you noticed the Hindus, after the worship, they will feed the people. They say prasadam. So feed the people, why? Because of this. Mostly we don't know. Not knowing we do. But if we can understand this teaching of the Kapila and perform that, worshipping the God in the image. Why in the image? Because I cannot otherwise concentrate my mind. So when the image is in front of me, I collect my mind from different objects and put it to the God, and I like to feed God, decorate God, worship God, and that all those things that I will do, but only with focused with that image, particular image. I like that. I love that. Some in Kali, some in Durga, some in Krishna, some in Ganesha. That's why so many gods and goddesses, so many images, hundreds of images. But the Hindus, they do. Why? Because it helps me to concentrate. I like that particular image. But at the same time, I know that image, the consciousness that I am trying to concentrate through that image, is not the image, it's not the stone. The consciousness that I am trying to concentrate, I try to focus, is present in every being. So in the second verse it says, installing me, my image, in a holy place should be worshipped, and second is, my presence in all being should be recognized. My presence in all being should be recognized. What happened when the people, they come and attain, after the worship, we go and serve them. Why? This time, I am doing the worship in a knowledge way, the Vedantin way, all the presence of the God in every being. But I have seen in a very holy place, they are throwing food to the others. If you go to that place, and they are pure Vedantin. Oh, we are Vedantin, we don't worship. But when the people are sitting, they will be throwing the chapatis and the breads from the distance. Why? We are Brahmin. We do not know what you are. So they will be throwing. I was also there in the same line sitting, and they were throwing. I told, okay, you need to throw on my plate. You may miss. I will catch it. No problem. So I was just joking with them. So that way they throw. Do you think they are really worshipping God? No. Most of the places, that mistake they do. They spend their whole life in worshipping. They spend their mind, they spend their energy, they spend their money, time, everything. But just because they do not understand that, that's why this Bhagavata is so important. And I am trying to give the gist of the Bhagavata. Bhagavata has so many wonderful stories. In the next skanda, the story of the Daksha, Sita, Daksha and all that, and also the Dhruva. So we may touch a little and we go to the knowledge part. Why? We should learn that. Stories we all know. There are so many books are there. And the Dhruva, it's a beautiful book for the children. But that is not the thing, it's not the story, it is the teaching. The teaching is, you worship first in the image, then you must go out and serve the living gods. Bhuteshu mad bhavanaya sattena asangena mena cha. In 16th verse he says. And third he says, show respect for holy people. Mahatam bahumanena. The holy people, you should show respect to them. Mahatam bahumanena. They are must highly respect. So I saw that. I went to Pune, and long back they were having that temple inauguration. Many Swamis came from all over. And the day I decided to come back, and in the temple, in the ashrama, everybody was busy. Nearly 300, 400 Swamis and said 4,000-5,000 devotees. Who will prepare my food for, I will be traveling in the train. So I went out to the shop and I thought I will purchase some bread, banana and this and that, so that when I am traveling back I can eat. I went to the shop and usual, the things were hanging, the small shop. I touched a banana bunch and I told, how much is this? The gentleman with folded hand, he said, okay Swami, in his own language, the Marathi language he was telling, it's no problem. And then I touched that bread. I wanted to see whether it is soft or not. And then I told that the biscuit and these and that. Afterwards, when I told, please pack it and give it to me. He took out everything and then packed and gave it to me. In the meantime, at the back of the shop is a family. So the wife and other children also came. They started offering pranam. I thought it's okay. Then I told, how much I have to pay? Pay? Don't say like that. Because you are the living God, you have come to my shop. I told, don't announce it. Because there are 300 living gods over here. If they come, they are all. But I really appreciated the devotion. And that is original India. That is original India. Not that they don't know. But the devotion for the holy people, I don't know how much holy I am, how good I am, but the devotion of that person really forced me to become holy. That I should not become so much of devotion just because I was putting on the girl. That's why in India, nowadays some people trying to get some power, political power, using this girl, that's not good. They are holding this garb and telling, see, this is all holy. But at the back of the person or inside that dress, the person, is he truly holy? Good person? But our people don't care about that. Only the Geruva clad person, Geruva flag, they will march. Tremendous devotion. But friends, we need discrimination too. Otherwise we'll make the mistake. It's not the color of the cloth, it's the character of the person who is putting on. That should be checked and then accepted. And he said, show respect for the holy people. Why? Because you have to develop the qualities of devotion. And the first devotion is, you must perform your duties which you have accepted without attachment, without waiting for the result. Second, you must worship God in image, but at the same time, you should know that the same God whom I was worshipping in the image is present in all beings. So the same type of respect you should give to those people present over there, whether poor or rich, educated or uneducated, because every being is having that purity. And the third, respect for the holy people. Mahatam Bahumanena. Help people who are in distress. Dinanam Anukampa. Show compassion to the poor. Those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, so you know, particularly on this point, when he was explaining the Bhagavata, Sri Ramakrishna, he was talking about the Bhagavata, when he uttered the word Anukampa, Daya. So Anukampa, when he said, then he went into Samadhi, came back, and he said, no, you are a humble human being. How can you show compassion to the other being? No. Seva, Seva. Who are you to show compassion? You're a tiny little being. You cannot show compassion, but you can serve. So Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, once again the avatar of the Lord Vishnu, he came and explained what in the form of Kapila he said long back, that Anukampa. Anukampa doesn't mean the compassion, it must be the service. Service to the people, Sheva, Sheva. And this is the teaching Swami Vivekananda heard. He was a young boy of 16, 17 years at the Narendranath. When he heard that the Sri Ramakrishna is explaining in this way, who are you to show compassion? You must serve people. And he said immediately, oh, what a wonderful teaching today I got. If I get a time, if the God give me the opportunity, I will teach it to the whole humanity. So the karma yoga that Swami Vivekananda explained, and he forced the Hindu sannyasins to perform through the Ramakrishna mission on the base of this. And equals should be treated with friendliness. Equals, the same type of people. Another Swami is coming. Usually same profession, they'll be immediately, oh, don't ask them. When a group of people, I am not mentioning, in Chicago, they invited me to their program, and another, a so-called Swami from India, he came. You know that you have to show different way, otherwise why the devotee will pay for you? For the Ramakrishna mission, we don't bother because it's an organization. So, not so much to impress the devotees, but the poor people who are there alone, they are constantly eager to impress the devotees so that they get the services from them. This man came, when I entered, he told, why you have invited him? He spoke in that language, but I could easily understand why you have invited him, and that wrongly he pointed the finger to me, and one or two words he spoke in English. He doesn't belong to this organization. He shouldn't be invited. But I sat by his side, and as if I couldn't understand. But this is the jealousy automatically comes. See here, Kapila, he is telling, you should not feel like that. Because it doesn't matter. What matters is God. And God is all pervading. My mind is constantly going towards God. Who is getting some respect, who is not getting, who is getting some popularity, who is... Don't bother about that. Whoever comes equal to you, the other Swamis, you must be very much respectful to them. If you go to Belur Math, they have a separate building for the Swamis who is not from the Ramakrishna mission, coming from outside. They will feed them, give them different type of clothing, an umbrella, shoes, whatever they need. And also, if they want to stay, they are allowed to stay. The respect is there. Always we try to serve. But India, it is very difficult because of the population, If you serve 5, 25 will come and stand over there. You serve the 5, now we have to do that. So because of the population, it's very difficult. But we try over there. Here also, whoever comes, with great respect, because I know this. And that's why I am careful about my sadhana. So whether he likes it or not, knows it or not, it doesn't matter. I know that I have to give respect to these people. Equal should be treated with friendliness. Maitra chaiva atma tulleshu. Atma tulleshu. Maitra cha eva atma tulleshu. If I go somewhere, as I expect that love, attention, services, I must also give that. Control of mind and senses. Yamena niyamena cha. In the 17th verse, we get these teachings. This is the 3rd verse. And in the 4th one, he says, study of scripture, practice of japa, straightforwardness, selfless attitude should be cultivated also. And again he said, finally, you must have holy company. So these Vedanta societies and the temples in different places, they are giving this opportunity. The churches, the mosques, the tabernacles and the temples. What for? So that the people who are there in the world, they are doing a great job so that the human society is surviving. They must get the opportunity for the holy company. It is a responsibility of the ministers or the church authority to give the proper spiritual teachings to the devotees who are coming over there. Not the narrow sectarian teachings, never. If they do, they are only destroying their own life, not understanding. So I follow this path. If you like, please you can come. But I am not going to criticize anyone. How it is possible? Study of the scripture. And when you study, we are now studying the scripture, the very excellent scripture, Bhagavatam. And when we are studying together, and we are thinking and explaining in different ways, but if I read myself, maybe that I will be reading some translation and the wrong person translated and my idea will be wrong. So one should be very careful when studying the scripture. Practice of japa. Many of the people, they think that we need not to take initiation. What is the necessity of guru? But in the spiritual life, it is a must. In the mundane life also, guru is necessary. Everywhere. So here, in the spiritual life, that is also very, very essential. Straightforwardness. This is also the great quality. Selfless attitude should be cultivated. No ahamkara, selfless attitude. I am really thankful that I am getting the opportunity to serve people. That should be the attitude. Not that I am a great scholar, I go and deliver the lecture and give them light to the masses. No, you cannot do anything actually. No one can do except God. So that's why one must be very humble. I got the opportunity to do in this way. There are so intelligent people. If they come and explain the same Bhagavata, they'll be 100 times better than me. But by chance, God has chosen me over here so that I can talk to you people, explain the Bhagavata in my knowledge. So I must be humble. So these are the teachings. And finally he said, must have holy company. Who is a holy person? Who is completely unselfish. That is a holy person. And who has a tremendous love for each and every one. Unselfishness and the pure love, that is the criteria of a holy person. By practicing these qualities, one will gain purity of mind and will come to me. That is the final way he said. In the third skanda, 29th chapter, verses 21 to 27, we find the best teachings of the Bhagavata given by the Kapila. Now we will study that portion. 21 to 27, these are the verses, the best teaching. Why? The Vedanta, pure Vedanta. The Kapila is giving the teaching. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma avasthita sada tvam abhaggaya mam marta kurute archa vidambanam. This is the 21 sloka. And it says, Swami Ranganathananda used to quote it again and again in many of his lectures. Why? This is a pure Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda, I think in Kumbhakonam or some other place he went, he was supposed to give a talk inside the Krishna temple, very famous Krishna temple. But as because there was a lot of crowd to listen to him, so he stood in the outside. He went on the top of the carriage, and from there he addressed, and he said, the Lord who is residing over here inside the temple, and that is also in South India, very orthodox. The Brahmins are very, very orthodox Brahmins. And that too almost 100 years before, the Vivekananda was addressing them, and he said, the God who is residing over here inside the temple are also residing over there. Look at them. In the small hearts. Go and serve them, the living gods and goddesses. Give them food, give them clothing, give them education. This God in the temple will be happy. It's a bold words. Nowadays we can say like that, quote like that. But standing before those people who never allowed even the shadow of those people whom the Swami Vivekananda was addressing as God and goddesses, the shadow of those people on so-called holy body of the Brahmins, they never allowed. Even the shadow touches, immediately they will go and bathe. That was the conception Vivekananda is breaking. On the basis of what? Just emotion. Vivekananda became very famous. He was a great orator. No. On the basis of this scripture. And the scripture is a Bhagavata. And the Bhagavata, which is teaching us to worship the Lord Vishnu and then the Krishna, as giving us the excellent Vedantic knowledge. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu. I reside in all beings. Bhutatma avasthita sada, as their innermost soul. I reside in all beings. How? Bhuta Atma, as a soul of those beings. Disregarding my presence, Tvam abhaggaya. And you are not caring for that? Move away, move away, move away. For hundreds of years in our country they used to do like that. And there will be even the so-called low and the caste people, they should have to have a bell in their hand. And they will be, whenever they are traveling through the villages, they will be ringing that. They are going to clean the toilets of the so-called Brahmins. But if the Brahmin by mistake come out and see him, that will be a sacrilege, that will be seen. So this person should go on ringing the bell, announcing that I am a holy person coming, and I am an unholy person coming, and you the holy people be careful. Look at it. And who are they? Great devotees. They will be sitting like this and explaining the Bhagavatam. Is it? So they have not read the actual passage or avoided these passages. Tvam abhaggaya mam martaha. You the people, you have disregarded my presence within them. The people worship my image in vain. If you are worshipping my image only, your worship is in vain. It's the Bhagavata's teaching. Yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu shanta atmanam ishwaram hitva archam bhajate modam bhashmanneva juhoti saha. He said, as if you are pouring the clarified butter, ghee, into the ashes and expecting the fire will come up. How it is? If you do not know the fire is not there, when the fire is there, if you put the ghee into that, then only the fire will come up. But when it is purely ashes, if you are going on pouring that, it is of no use, wastage. Same way you are doing, yo mam sarveshu bhuteshu santa atmanam ishwaram hitva archam. The one who disregards me present in all as their soul and Lord, but ignorantly offer worship only to images, such worship is as ineffective as sacrificial offering made in ashes. Again and again and again and again, the hammer, Mohammedgara, so that hammer is coming down. Why? Because we are very selfish. We are so much selfish, we do not think anything else. And because of the selfishness, ego, and when the ego is there, I think whatever I am doing is the correct, is the right thing. So this is the problem. I was hearing from a person, I went to New York, I stayed with him, and he was telling about how in the villages, even today, his maternal uncles and others, he loves them, respect them, but still they cannot understand anything about it. And he wanted to send some money so that their uncles who are there in the village can help the poor people who actually made the earning is for the small thing. So they live in a corner of the village, outside of the village. So he told, I can send some money, but if you can organize something for them, like some good roads, some hearts, and cleaning and all around, then the maternal uncle said, are you mad? Serving those people? It's a sin to serve them. One should not do that. Look at it. Even today, 21st century, people are planning to purchase the land in the moon. And even then, so much ignorance in our mind. It is only the incident that I heard. If you go to many places, I was reading, suddenly one of the messages comes in the iPhone, there someone in the church, he said that if you practice meditation and practice yoga, you are actually inviting the power of the devil. Look at it. First you practice and see what happens. And if the devil comes, you are already having the cross mark, the holy thing. So why you are afraid of? But you cannot understand. You need not to practice. See the effect on the people who are practicing. The arrogant people are becoming calm, quiet, so wonderful people. Can't you understand seeing the effect of it? Before taking the medicine, you go and tell the doctor, have you applied this medicine on some other people? Oh, yes. Nearly 2,000 people I have applied and everybody is a very good result. Okay, then you give it to me. That also you can do. Why you announce without knowing that this is a sinful thing? Ignorance and ego. Because of this ignorance and ego, so he said over here, in the one disregards me, presenting all as their soul and the Lord, the God, but ignorantly offer worship only to images. You will find that almost everywhere. So that is the reason the Vedanta society, we are very small, in presence, very small, hardly 15 or 16 in the North America, and one Swami only present in every center. And we don't have the fund to reach out to the people, going and telling them, distributing free books. We cannot do that because of all this. But this is very, very important for the human society. They should know. And why in America? I am talking, not that I am here, because the people here are educated people. They will understand it quickly. So this is the reason we should do. When a person who is manina, proud, baddha vairasya, feeling enmity to others, binna darshinaha, having other ideas, namana shanti mrichati, will never attain peace of mind. So how we will know that these people are not getting the success? You will find they are not having the peace of mind. So that is the main thing. The peace of mind, happiness, fabulously rich person, but no peace of mind. They are going here, there, everywhere. They are thinking by visiting this person, that person, going and getting the touch of this and that will help me. No. Only these things. If you read the Kapila's advices, only 4 or 5, follow that, you see the wonderful effect in your own mind. If a man disregards and persecutes fellow being, but worship me in images with numerous rituals and rich offering, I am not at all pleased with him. The 24th verse is saying. He is disrespecting others and worshipping with great, many other things. That if you go, you will see, you can't see the image, the small image. But the offerings are so big, so the images at the back you can't see. And that man boastfully will say, this is worship I am doing. No, for sure. The prasad that you take is not at all prasad, only food. If you go and purchase from the shop and eat, and if you go and take from there, the same thing, no effect. Prasad is completely different thing. If you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and Ma Sharada Devi's books, when the God is very pleased with you, when you are offering with great devotion in tearful eyes, God, I know everything is yours. What I can offer to you? But these are the small little things that I could collect, and I am giving it to you. Please touch it. A light comes from the eyes of the God and Goddesses that touches all the food. And that is called prasada. Anyone partaking that food will get the effect for sure. Long back, when Belur Math was not at all popular, rather the local people, they used to doubt about these young monks who were there on the bank of the Ganga. Swami Vivekananda's American disciples, European disciples, they gave some money. So Vivekananda purchased a plot of land, and the young people who were interested to come and lead a monastic life, they started living over there. We were poor condition. Manager was Premananda. The Sri Ramakrishna mentioned he is as pure as the Radha, because he was the Amsha of the Radha. And Premanandaji was the manager. When everybody will finish their food, very humble food, only rice was little, because that was the base food, and maybe one curry or little dal, and that's all. But the Premanandaji will go and sit by the on the bank of the Ganges When the people going towards Calcutta, mostly they used to go by boat, he will call them, hey, come, you are tired, take some food over here. And he will be inviting, but they are poor people, believe it or not. How to feed them? Somehow you will cook some khichdi and at the odd time when he is inviting the guest, and he himself will go and try to lit the oven and all that. So naturally young brahmacharis, young monks, they will come and help. Okay, Swami, but they were not at all happy. Then one day someone told, why you are feeding them in this way? Then he said, no, I am not giving them food. I am giving them prasad. I am not giving them food. I am giving them prasada. And this prasada is just like the seed of devotion. These people, they don't understand now, this moment. But when they are partaking the food and going away, someday the devotion will grow in them for sure. If not in this birth, next birth. That was the great confidence, and that is called the prasada. So whatever the people are bringing, we should sprinkle Ganga water on that, because Sri Ramakrishna himself said, Brahmabari. The moment you sprinkle Ganga water, it becomes poor. Whether we believe it or not, Sri Ramakrishna said, believe in those words. And then offer to Mother and say, or to God and say, please partake a little from it. Close your eyes, imagine the light is coming and touching. That is prasad. You need not to utter so many Sanskrit words. You need not to perform all the rituals. Only devotion. Then the great sage Kapila pronounced, we will conclude with this, Sarva bhuteshu avasthita mam sa hridi jabat naveda tavat sa karmakrit archadu archayet. 25th verse he said, continue your swadharma, don't stop it. Whatever the responsibility that you have accepted, continue that with detachment, and as long as you are not finding that holy realization, the God is present in every being, continue that. So long one realizes my presence in all being, should continue practicing swadharma, own duty, worship with devotion and with discrimination too. And in the verses from 28 through 35th, the greatness of the human being has been described, beginning with how superior the human being is. The superior to the gross matter, it goes on step by step. It's a long list. The gross matter, from that, and ultimately it reaches Ishvara Jiva Kalaya Pravishto Bhagavan Niti in the 34th verse. All-pervading God is present in all being as Jiva, in indwelling soul, is the best. Who is the best? All being, because in them the manifestation of God is there, presence of God is there. But in human mind, particularly those who have read the Veda and those who have gone to the gurus, those who are practicing to realize it, and those who are feeling the presence of God within one heart, and also among others, He is the best. So here Kapila concludes by saying this way. So from those that the stone and all other things, then the slowly developing the evolution, and it comes to those who are the Brahmanas. That's why the respect of Brahmana. Who is the Brahmana? Constantly dwelling on the Brahman. And what is that Brahman? Consciousness. And if it is consciousness, it is all-pervading. And if it is all-pervading, you cannot discriminate that he belongs to this class, she belongs to that caste and religion and language. No discrimination. And what will come? Without discrimination, seeing God in everything, love and unselfishness. So that is the ultimate teaching. And Kapila says, continue continue, continue. Don't stop unless you realize it. And Swami Vivekananda also said, religion is realization. And all other things that you do is nothing but to get that religion. We should not think that we are religious people. We are only trying to be religious. As long as we are trying, it's good. And the day we will realize the presence of God in every being, that should be the blessed day. We should pray for that day. Thank you. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Dibhyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatina Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogina Yasyantam Nabidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Friends, the 23rd December we will observe the Christmas. There is Christmas celebration will be there. That is a Sunday. And in the morning time like this, from 11 to 12. So please come with your friends and family. And 30th again, there will be another Ma Sharada Muni Devi's Puja, Tithi Puja. Tithi Puja is on Friday, but we will do so that all people can attain on Sunday morning again from 11 to 12, 12:31. And 1st January, as we always do, at 3 o'clock in the noon time, we will have the Kalpataru Utsav. Please mark your calendars and please come.